It's time for fashion at the Fashion Empire, the reality journal inside and out of the fashion industry. With your hostess, fashion editor, editorial photographer, and model manager Jackie Bertolette. She shares her experiences, her tips and tricks, and how-tos and trends, and talks with other fashion and beauty insiders. Let's join the conversation. Today's episode is sponsored by Tiffany Rose Antiques and Vintage Apparel in Mentor, Ohio. You can visit them in-store or online at Instagram Tiffany Rose Antiques. Ingenuity Labs at the Hamilton, a creative community in Cleveland, Ohio. You can visit them on Facebook, Ingenuity. Darla Fox, formal wear boutique, unique and interesting apparel. South Park Mall in Strongsville, Ohio. You can visit them in-store or online at Instagram, Darla Fox. Thanks for joining us in the Empire. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. We have an awesome show lined up for you and want to remind you to stay tuned through the end of the episode for our much anticipated Good to Know segment featuring 5 tips from industry insiders. We're excited to offer the opportunity to be entered for a chance to win a 1-year free e-subscription to Hot Ohio magazine when you comment the timestamp at which the Hot Ohio logo drops a photo or voice-over bomb. And before you leave the page, be sure to subscribe, comment, like, and turn on notifications to be the first to know when new episodes hit the air. We love to hear from our citizens, so be sure to comment or email afashionempire@hotohio.com. You can see this podcast on YouTube or on our website, hotohio.com, and our Facebook and Instagram pages, or you can listen to it on audio podcast platforms across the web. And if you're an industry insider, shoot us an email. We'd love to have you on our podcast here in the Empire. All right, now let's join the conversation. Hello, citizens, and welcome to the Empire, the Fashion Empire, where every day is a great day to style. Today we have a really excellent guest, and of course, Arzel will introduce her. But I want to thank you for coming and visiting with us today. If you're new to the Empire, welcome. And if you're returning, then welcome back. So let's get started. Hello, Miss Arzel.
Hello, Miss Jackie. How are you?
I am wonderful. And you?
I'm doing great. Okay, enough about me and us. So let's get into it with Tiffany. Okay, so let's talk about Tiffany. First of all, she's one of my makeup artists that has done my makeup for many of things that I've done, and she's also she went to Paul Mitchell school for makeup. So she's just has so much information for us, and I'm going to stop talking because I want y'all to meet her, and I love her energy. She's really like my spirit sister for real, because like we be on the same thing. Tiffany, where you at?
Hey girl. Hello.
Hi, Tiffany. Wait, I gotta move over now. I like your hat.
It's Sunday hats.
Okay, girl, you look fabulous. You look great.
You too.
You look great. You look great, man. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you.
Welcome, Tiffany.
Thank you.
It seems like it's been forever. What, about 7 days? Since
I know,
right? That's what I was thinking. Like, it's been a long time since I've actually been around you. It's been like a year.
Yeah, because it was New York Fashion Week.
New York Fashion Week. That's right.
Time.
2020. This was before the pandemic, literally weeks before the lockdown.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was crazy that we all got out of there just in the nick of time.
Like, no, none of us were sick or anything.
I know. That was insane. We were so blessed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the last time you guys saw each other.
Yes. That's not good, Tiffany. I mean, we both are adults, so
exactly.
We both can drive, and we have license, so we need to stay in touch, because we be on internet, we be doing TikToks and stuff together.
Yes,
literally, she's really my spirit sister.
Hey, can you? I don't know much about TikTok, so it kind of makes me the oddball out here.
Yeah.
But can you do remotes like this on TikTok? Like, could you call each other and do a side by side TikTok?
What they have, they do stitches is what they call it. So someone can do a video and you can stitch it where you guys are side by side and you can do videos that way. Or I've done them before, like when the lockdown first happened, like some friends and we all did like this makeup TikTok together where all of us did like our own separate videos, and then they sent them to me, and then I kind of put them together for the TikTok, and it looked like we were all like passing the foundation brush to each other.
Oh, cool.
Makeup. It was cute.
Yeah, that was. I like that. I always wondered.
We'll have to check that out. What's your TikTok handle so they can see that?
It is T Marie Beauty 13.
There you go. There you go. Arzel, give your shout out. What's your TikTok?
Of course, Arzel Roulette.
Yep, that was easy. She's got the branding down.
Yes, I'm in the process of rebranding. So
I saw that, because I went to tag you on the Gratitude Guild stuff and I couldn't find you. I'm like, where is she? Styles by Tiffany. No, they're not there anymore. So yeah. You'll have to make sure you get that out to us so that we can post the right ones.
For sure.
Okay.
So how did you meet Miss Jackie?
So I actually, a friend of mine, Christina, I've actually known her since elementary school. She had posted on Facebook that this magazine, Hot Ohio Magazine, was going to be doing a student edition for their spread. And at the time, I was still a student at Paul Mitchell. So I messaged her and said, hey, I'm in Michigan, but can I still enter this contest? Like, if I win, I'll drive down. I mean, I'm from Cincinnati. It'd be a great time for me to go visit family and stuff, whatever. She said, yeah, no problem. Go ahead. So I entered that and like just put a video together and did some mannequin heads with avant-garde style looks. And I got picked. So that was like my first contest I won as a student. And actually first contest I won just being a stylist. And it really just helped me kind of catapult me and let me know, like reassure me that, yeah, this is what I should be doing. Like it's one of many contests I've won.
Yeah. Since then. Yeah. The list is long now.
Yeah.
But that was only a couple years ago. It's hard to believe. I mean, it was 4 years ago, maybe?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But I have to tell you that was early on in the magazine's longevity. And although the magazine itself had been been short term, I've been in the industry for a very long time. And your talent as a student it blew me away. And the fact that you so I gave her what I consider, I don't know the difference between what's hard and what's not in hair and makeup. Sometimes things that I think, oh, this is a breeze, Maria will be like, oh no. And then sometimes I think it looks difficult and Maria's like, oh yeah, we could do that in 10 minutes, So, I mean, so I came up with this look that I thought was going to be a challenge for her as a student. And she literally had it done in 15 minutes, like perfection, like magazine quality perfection. And Cece, who at the time was our beauty director, Cece, we were both like, whoa. We're like, give her more models.
Yeah, I was so happy. I was like, I got to do more than one model. Like,
it was so awesome. And her model was, I don't know if you ever met Abigail Goss. I'm not sure because she moved, she became our international correspondent. She moved to Vietnam, I believe it was. So she's back now, but she modeled for us for a while. She's a plus size model out of Zanesville area. Yeah. So that was incredible. That's how I met Tiffany. And that was like all she wrote. And that's started a long relationship. She's now been on the glam team for Ohio Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, Hot Ohio Magazine. And most recently, this last week, we shot for the Gratitude Guild, which was a collective of numerous local small businesses, including stylists and designers who came together to give makeovers to essential workers who worked through the pandemic. So it was really cool. And Tiffany brought one of her students with her from Paul Mitchell, and she did Olivia. Olivia did the makeup, and Tiffany did the hair, and we gave makeovers to 3 deserving essential workers. And that issue comes out, in this time tomorrow, but
I don't know when this is going to air. So March 22nd, 2021. So it's the Gratitude Guild issue that will come out with the spring issue as well. In fact, the same day the podcast launches. Yay. Right. So Tiffany, tell us how. So you're an instructor now. You graduated. Everything went well. Amazing. Probably graduated top of your class. And so now you're an instructor for Paul Mitchell. And what are you teaching there?
Right now, I'm actually teaching. We have a makeup course that they just started a couple years ago. So that's my main focus. I also teach, we have on the floor. So we teach like real life scenarios, like as if someone's coming into the salon, we guide the students that way. I've also taught our core classes, which are your first 8 weeks of school, where we teach literally the basics: how to hold a brush, how to comb hair, how to separate hair, how to blow dry it, how to hold a blow dryer, all the technical stuff that goes into the beauty industry that people don't really think of. But
Right.
I love that they're letting me teach the makeup now, because I was never really strong with makeup. So I said, I want to learn it. So they had me training with Ultimate Face Cosmetics, where they were teaching myself and a few other like hand selected instructors. And we were going through that training course while also teaching the course to the students. And I love it because I really learn a whole lot just from working with the students. Like the people we get, I'm like, you guys know way more about makeup just by their own stuff. And I'm like, y'all are teaching me so much more than I'm teaching them. But it's such a great experience. I love it.
Yeah. Makeup has really taken a life of its own, like 20 years ago. Yeah, you wore makeup, but now it's like an art that like a lot of the up and coming teenagers and young adults, like, I couldn't even hold my daughter can do some, it just blows my mind. I'm like, what? I can't even do mascara. So it's
seriously, like I struggle. I be like, I'm doing something right. It looks like
That's why Maria's always chasing after me. Sit down, sit down. Oh my gosh. But gosh. So Tiffany, what else is going on in your land?
There's always a lot going on, really. I just kind of always just keep looking for different opportunities. I always like check your page, see what you guys are up to. And if I'm able to, I always like working with you guys and coming down there. I've also worked with Michigan Fashion Week. That's with Lauren Hicks. I did that last year. I don't think they did it this year. I think it was something like a virtual type of runway that they did, but I did get to do that. And that was a lot of fun. We got to bring a bunch of students there. Like they got to do a lot of networking, and they got to really see how crazy and chaotic being behind the scenes and backstage and not having ideal situations to work with. Cause we did Michigan Fashion Week was in an old building that we had like pretty much no electricity. There were no sockets to plug stuff in. So it was really, really difficult finding places to plug in our curling irons, ring lights. The lighting was awful because it was super dark. There were no windows. So they got to really like work outside the box, and like we all had to figure out how to get all these 100 models ready for the runway and get them looking beautiful.
Oh my goodness, that must have been crazy.
Yeah.
I know we've put our stylist in some strange positions too, though.
Yeah.
We have, that's why I love who I work with, because they're not afraid to, I don't know, venture out of the box and, okay, how are we going to make this work? Like it's the challenge of it for, the people that I work with, So instead of being like, oh, she's crazy, that's never going to happen. Like, you guys are like, okay, this is what she needs. How are we going to make it happen? And that's so cool. And that's the reality of things anyway. So for the students to be able to see that and participate in that, that's incredible. I've also had, I can't off the top of my head, I can't think of her name, but Mrs. Michigan. Mrs. Michigan has contacted me through you. She said she got my name through you.
Oh, great.
And she's going to be our cover in 2022. Like we're way booked out. So
yes, I love it.
So I don't know if she's still going to be Mrs. Michigan then. We'll see.
She's still a pageant girl. So.
That's right. She's still beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's exciting. We haven't had an icon of style from Michigan, so I'm excited about that too.
Yay.
Yeah. See, it's all about connections, right,
It is.
Arcel?
It really like connecting. Like I made so many connections by doing this podcast and met some cool people. And I was like, I just feel so happy because, a lot of people, think like, I don't know, their making it is different from my making it. So it's just kind of like you network. That's what it's all about. Even when you make it, whatever your make it is, it's still all about networking. Networking is key to everything. And when I realized it, I was like, oh, okay. Then I started seeing my career going like this, going to where it needs to go. So networking is important. Always network, people. That is important.
That's right. That's right. And always have your comp card.
Always.
Always. Or a business card, if you're a hair and makeup artist. So yeah.
So Tiffany,
all right. Go ahead.
Question. Sorry, Jason.
No, you're good.
Go ahead. I'm cutting her off. Okay. So what made you get into the makeup industry? Like, what made you get into doing makeup?
For me, I've always wanted to do it, but my mom was never into makeup. She's like a hippie, so she's all natural. So I've always played with it and never really learned how to apply it. But just seeing how makeup is just so huge and it's blowing up right now. Like in the past 5 years, it's gone from like something you just play around with, like, oh, maybe you'll throw on some makeup to go out with your girlfriends for the night, where now it's like, no, this is your look. Like you can transform your whole face to look completely sculpted, and you can be just as beautiful as someone you're seeing in a magazine or on TV. And all it is just doing a little bit of contour. And it's all about practice, and how Jackie was saying, it's artistry, honestly. And for me, that's what I went to school for. I went to school initially for graphic design. And I was like, okay, if I can paint on a canvas, like why can't I paint on someone's face or paint on my own face and make just as beautiful artwork, So it's really just been buckling down and using that 3D model, because I mean, on a canvas, it's all one dimensional, but on a face, it's like you've got different eye shapes, different nose shapes, bone structure, you've got skin, you've got hair, you've got pigmentations that's going to be different. You could have blemishes, you could have moles. Like there's so much that goes into it that it's like you've really just got to like buckle down and practice it as much as possible.
Yeah.
How is it? I've never taken these classes myself, so how much of it is like biology? Like structures and sculptures and bones, and like how much of that is involved in hair and makeup?
A lot. You actually have to have, I believe it's about 20 hours a week that we do in just theory alone for the students, and that's with hair and makeup. For our makeup classes that I teach, we go for about 11 weeks, and it's 7 hours a day. The very first half of the class is to theory only, and that's just reiterating everything that we learned in cosmetology as well. So we do theory, that way you have to learn the bone structure. We learn about Kelvin lighting, about warmth, what kind, like how natural light is going to be at 5,000 lumens, where that's going to be the most ideal. So it's learning about how to do photography, what kind of makeup to apply when you do have these different light settings. Is it going to be outdoors? Is it going to be indoors? Is it going to be warm lighting, cool lighting? And even just trying to, people that have birthmarks, we do that. We do special effects. We end up doing editorial, bridal. We really cover all the bases when we teach these classes.
That is incredible. And she's talking my language there with the, she said Kelvin. I'm like, what? How do you know what Kelvin is?
Yes, we have to teach all of that.
See, now you just taught me, because I had no idea that you needed to know and take into consideration all of those factors. Obviously, I do as the photographer. I mean, I don't even think it's just second nature now to know, okay, it's natural lighting. We're going to need a fill. We're going to need, this is the heat. It's going to be this heat or that heat or this many watts or this many Kelvin. But I never realized that you would take that into account as a stylist. And that makes a lot of sense. So it's really scientific. That's photography is the same way. People think, oh, you just pick up a camera and do it. But it is so much science behind it that it's crazy. I mean, it took 2 years of intense schooling to learn how to do it, Of course, I learned on film and we had to actually process it and all that kind of stuff. But there is a lot to it. I mean, lighting has a lot of behavior. So
It does.
very interesting to hear from the hair and makeup stylist point of view. When you're in the middle of a shoot, and because I just did this to her, and she's labored on a hairstyle, and then we do the shoot, and then we change the clothes, and I take the hair down. And the stylist is going, oh my God, I just spent an hour on that. Which I totally appreciate. And then call in the stylist and say, come and coif her.
But it happens. It happens.
Yeah. We just did it. It does.
Really, it happens like that, but it's okay. It's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
It's just okay. It's all in the behind the scenes. The behind the scenes, y'all, is where y'all really need to be.
Yeah.
I know. That's why we're doing this podcast, so they can feel like they're behind the scenes with us. So what does that do from a stylist point of view? Does that make you go, oh my God, this woman? Or does it make you go, oh, cool, I get to try something again? Or what does it make you feel like?
I love it. Like I love being able to have those different looks, because then it's going to produce more photos that I'm able to be like, oh, this is cool. But the one thing that drives me nuts is when models come in and their hair, they flat iron their hair, because what that does is it causes a physical change to their actual hair structure.
Oh.
And so if their hair has been flat ironed, it's not going to hold a curl. If they want any kind of curl, not going to happen. It might hold for like 2 seconds. It may not hold at all. And that is
really
like always biggest thing is like, if you're adding heat, it's a physical reaction to that hair strain. You've got to wash the hair and blow dry it just to get it back to the natural state again, if you want to do anything other than a straight look, straight style. So that's always, that's the only pet peeve I have, is when a model comes in and their hair has already been pressed, or they've pre-curled it, or put any kind of heat or any kind of products on their hair. Like just come with, if you could let it air dry, that'd be ideal.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I didn't know that. I knew a lot of the stylists on the glam team, at least for Ohio Fashion Week, like clean, dry hair.
Yes.
So we never really even discussed flat irons, but that makes sense.
Definitely clean. I hate that rumor. I don't know who started it, to have dirty hair. It's like, no, do not have dirty hair, because that's disgusting. It doesn't look pretty.
I have heard that. I've had models say to me that, they've been told to do 2-day-old shampoos.
No.
And I'm like, why would you want to go? And I wouldn't want somebody ripping through my hair.
No. Oh.
I haven't washed my scalp in 2 days, but okay.
It's gonna stink.
Yes, and if you have used products anyway, you're gonna have some kind of product buildup,
right?
As well.
Right.
And I don't know what kind of products people use at home. It's like, if you're using drugstore products, you probably got a ton of plastic in your hair that is going to be melting in your hair, because now I'm using hot tools on the hair and just burning it into your hair cuticle.
Oh, see now I'm not going to be able to buy my product anymore.
No.
Okay. No, I'm just kidding. I don't use that stuff. No, I know. I learned a long time ago. Yeah. I got yelled at by many stylists over the years. Yeah. This is one thing that we've had Maria and Malika on, and this is one thing that I asked them, and every stylist has their own opinion on this. What do you feel about washing the hair, just in general, not in relation to fashion, just, one of them feels like every single day, one of them feels like every other day, so what's your thought on that?
It's honestly going to be up to the person, because some people, they can go a whole week without washing their hair. It really depends on your body chemistry, because your sebaceous glands are where your hair is coming out of. It's all part of that hair follicle. Some people have overactive sebaceous glands, so that's going to be just putting a whole lot of oils and grease into your hair, and that's where your product usage comes into. If you're using these drugstore products that are made very cheaply, they have a lot of alcohol in them. They have preservatives and sulfates in there that are actually keeping it so they have a long shelf life, which makes sense. It's fine. But at the same time, putting those products on your hair is suffocating your hair. It's like putting a plastic bag over your face. So it's going to make you overproduce these oils
Oh,
that are
okay.
going to make your hair very greasy and not very pretty. It's like, that's why when you see someone walking down the street, you can tell who a hairstylist is, because their hair looks amazing because they're using quality products that they have a long shelf life. I mean, usually most of these products have 12 months, at least 12 to 18 months as a shelf life, but they're made with better concentrations of products. So you can look at the 2 bottles that you have. One, they're still probably going to have the similar ingredients, but it's all about the concentration. And when it comes to shampooing, people are using shampoo from scalp to ends, when shampoo is only meant to clean your scalp. You don't need to run that through the ends of your hair. That's what your conditioner is for. So it'll help you save. In the long run, you're not going to be using as much product if you're just using it correctly. So if you just use your shampoo just on the scalp of your hair, rinse that out. It'll rinse through. I mean, if you have a ton of shampoo or a ton of hairspray or products on your hair, that's fine. Go ahead and run a little bit of shampoo through it just to rinse it out. But then make sure you're using a good conditioner as well, because that conditioner is going to be doing its job and closing up the little spots in your hair. I kind of, how I describe it to my students is, if you look at just one strand of hair and you look at a street that has like a pothole, your hair strand is very similar to a street that has a ton of potholes in it, especially if you've had any color or even any kind of damage to it. You walk outside in the sun, your hair is going to get some kind of damage to it. It has potholes in it. What are you filling those potholes in with? Are you filling it in with plastics and alcohol from these drugstore products? Or are you going to be filling it in with good conditioning products that have really good ingredients in it that is going to make your hair nice, healthy, and shiny? And I think that's why a lot of people always struggle with when their hair gets really staticky in the wintertime. I don't get static in my hair anymore because I don't have that loss of moisture. That's what a big thing is. You're suffocating your hair, and then you're filling it with alcohol with all these other products. That's going to dry your hair out. It's going to cause all that static, and it's going to make your hair stand on end. So really look at moisturizing products and sealing it in with good products as well. And then even using like a leave-in conditioner to really even enhance that shine and enhance those products that you just put in.
That is incredible. I've never heard it put that way, and it makes sense, to the layperson.
Yeah, like for me, I can't go. I mean, I usually go maybe 2 days without like washing my hair, but it's because I do have like overproductive like sebaceous glands. Like my hair gets greasy and oily, and even with dry shampoo, I don't like that feeling of it. So for me, I even do that, but I also go and touch up my hair color like every 2 weeks as well too. So just knowing that those products are going to be rinsing out any color that you put in your hair as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can go like 2 weeks.
I wish.
Like every other
Not
week,
me.
I have to wash my hair.
I can't. This drives Maria is my stylist most of the time. Drives her crazy, and she hates this about me. That I cannot stand dirty scalp.
Yeah.
Like I have to wash my hair every single day, and it drives her insane. And I understand it drives my hair out, and I understand all that, but I can't. I've tried to just wet it, and but it doesn't feel clean to me, and I'm like itchy, and I can't do it. I just can't do it. I can't.
I can't either. I agree with you. And even with water is going to be causing a chemical reaction to your hair because there's minerals and chemicals that the water's been treated with. So even just wetting it, you still need some kind of product in there to rinse those minerals out and condition your hair strand as well.
Listen to her, all techie, all technical.
I get so geeked out of this stuff, I swear.
I'm over here like I did my hair last night. Did I wash with the shampoo? Did I put that all through my scalp or just through the hair too? Like I'm over here really like trying to remember how I washed my hair because like Jackie was saying, Malika, and Maria were on there, and they were saying like the same thing. And I'm like, man, did I really wash my hair like that? I probably washed my hair the wrong way. Like I probably did it the wrong way. Like, cause
yeah, especially if you're taking your hair and then going like this, scrubbing it. It's like you're just roughing up your hair strand, making it like frizz out and go crazy. Like you don't need to do that.
Yeah, I think well, my hair is short, so I just put the shampoo on there and it hits the scalp. But I don't think I'm doing it the way that I need to be doing it.
Yeah. Pay attention the next time you get your hair done. Exactly how you'll notice they're massaging your scalp and it feels great, but it's really they're making sure that your scalp is getting thoroughly clean.
Yeah.
So this is the one thing that I notice every single time I go and get my hair done, regardless of who it is over the years. They will wash your hair in the bowl and put like 15 different rinses and products on it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, like they don't just wash it and condition it. No, there's like wash and then there's wash and then there's some kind of oil and then there's some kind of something. I'm like, my God, it's like 25 minutes to wash your hair. So I don't know what it all is. But I can always tell when I've left the salon, my hair is so shiny and so smooth, and it's just beautiful, which lasts about a day and a half. Probably from washing my hair every day. Sorry, Maria.
Well, that also goes into if you have a good blow dryer, because it really it's crazy. Like I actually show my students this all the time, where I'll take a blow dryer and blow it onto your hand. Like feel your fingers before you do it, and then take your blow dryer and blow it on your hand. And then you'll feel your fingers will actually feel smoother, like you just put oil on them. So that's how you can go and choose a really good blow dryer. When you go get your next one, make sure it has that ion technology, because your hair grows out of your head negatively charged. So you want to get a blow dryer that's positively charged, and that will also help extend your blow dries and extend having to wash your hair so often, because those positively charged ions are helping to close that cuticle and really smooth down that hair and make it shiny as well.
That makes sense.
My gosh, I'm learning so much. How exciting. I've never gotten this deep into like the the realities of what it was, like I bought a Dyson hair dryer some time ago just because it looked cool.
Yeah, it is a cool dryer though.
But I have no idea if it has, whatever it is you were just
That's
talking about.
That's a really good one to have. So you're doing good with that. Like I don't think you should waste. I don't think consumers should waste that much money on a blow
it wasn't
dryer.
cheap, but I got
It's
it,
not.
off of Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, so that's a good. You definitely probably got a good deal, because those things run like $200 to $400. Like it's crazy, but it's a beautiful blow dryer, and it'll last you forever. Because that's the good thing too about getting those really good blow dryers, is they really will last a long time. Like the one I use on my clients and myself, I've had it for 4 years now, and it still works just as well as it did when I first got it.
And you probably run it 2 hours a day, I would imagine.
When I have like full clientele, like right now, I just teach. I really haven't had clients, but yeah, at the time it was being used a lot.
Do you have clients at the school normally?
I don't take clients, but the students do. Like for now, I'm just in the classroom doing the makeup and stuff. But I was like, I have a salon set up at my house, so I would have some people would come over to do that. But once like COVID kind of hit, I pretty much was like, nah, I don't think I want to be bringing people into the house now.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that one.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. I mean, a lot of people I think it was probably 6 months from the time we left New York City to the time that I got my first haircut. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. And it wasn't really even the haircut. It was the color, the roots. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I really am not a fan of roots.
I'm not either.
And the reason we went to we went to blonde because my roots, I mean, I have so much gray hair that, I usually wear your color. What you're wearing, that wine, is just stunning. That's like the color I really tend to like. but my roots come in like in 3 days.
Mine too. That's why I have to touch this up all the time.
So we went to blonde because it was a little more concealing. So I'm really happy with blonde though. I've never been blonde before, so that was a good choice by Maria. Yeah.
Looks
Do you ever color your hair, Felicia?
Oh no,
Or Zell?
fall out. It will fall out.
Really?
When I was young, yup. Because my mom and my dad, they are also hairstylists, so it just
that's right.
it doesn't. I don't know. It strips my hair to the point to where my dad had to. I had color one time, and that made me bald, and I don't know what happened.
Wow.
Oh my gosh! Maybe your dad was trying to teach you a lesson.
He did it right, and he noticed. He was like, "Oh, your hair is too weak. It's too weak." So here he is in the refrigerator, cracking eggs, using mayonnaise, putting vinegar in my hair to save it because it was just falling out. I've never put color in my hair after that. Like never. The last time he cut like that cut that I got over the summer, that color that was in there, that was pieces. He put pieces in because we were not. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't do. My hair doesn't do color. Any type of color I have in, it is a piece, okay?
Okay.
It is an add-on if y'all don't know what a piece is. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to clarify because not everybody does.
Anytime you see Arzelle with some color in her hair, it's weave.
It's weaved.
If you can't achieve it, weave it. That's what I say.
Oh, there you go. That's a motto.
About it is actually if it's a human, like if it's human track hair, you can bleach the hair, the track, to save the hair. So all you got to do is go get the color, and you can use that hair as many times as you want.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice tip.
Yes. I keep lots of my hair pieces just like that, so I can add them to mine and put funky colors in.
I can't wait.
Do you find yourself working on your daughter a lot? Because you have one daughter, right?
Wow.
And does she let you experiment on her?
I have to force her to sit down and let me do her hair. Like, she is not that girl. I was like, if it was me, I'd have been like, ooh, blow dry my hair today, curl my hair today. Like, she asked me to do some curtain bangs on her last night, and she's like, no, I hate them. And I'm like, you have to like
can't fix them now.
I know, like bangs are a love-hate relationship. Like you love them, but I was like, as soon as it starts growing out, you'll like it. But I was like, you have to go like wash your hair now, and then I had to show her how to blow dry it, and then she's like, okay, it's not so bad. I'm like, stressing me out.
Yeah, I had the same with my daughter when she was younger. She just, I mean, I couldn't even brush her hair. I'd have to chase her around the house just to comb her hair, It was a nightmare. But now she's quite different now. She's probably she's taken a little bit of a turn to the tomboy side recently, but she definitely knows how to glam up in front of the runway or the model camera. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, but I could never get her to sit still for anything. That's crazy.
Yeah, I love braids, but they hurt.
I always wondered that. Honest to God,
hurt so bad. Like
why do they do that?
Like when I do it, you just like add on the hair.
Yeah.
There's so many new ways now that you can braid hair. It's unreal. Like I ended up the last time I did my box braids, I had like all that gold and the designs in it. I did it, but I did it too tight. It hurt so bad. I was like, oh, I did my hair too tight. And it's just like a headache. Like it's just like it makes you just go like this.
Oh,
it's an instant facelift. That's what it is.
Oh, well, now you got me perked up.
It's like everything is so pulled back, and I be looking like this. They're like, oh,
maybe I can just get them braided like right here, and I have to pull those. My Botox lady quit on me. So.
I just started getting Botox. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you what. I never did it before, and I never thought that I would be the kind of woman who sort of fought the aging process, because I do find beauty in all ages, all sizes, But last year for my birthday, one of my models, Olivia, her mom, Vicky, and my stylist went together and bought me Botox.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. I have never loved a birthday present more than I love the Botox. And since then, the lady has not come back because, she was coming to us. And because of COVID, she's not coming. And I'm like, oh my God, I need my Botox.
Oh,
I'm like
no.
feeling.
It gives you
like,
such a refreshing look, though. Like, it doesn't
It
change the way
does.
you look. Like, for me, my right eye is so hooded when I don't
Mhm.
have it. So when I just get it popped in there, it just pops it right up. And I'm like, I look like at least 5 years younger. Like,
Yes, absolutely agree. And I've always had, this is just part of my Croatian heritage. I think I have these really heavy lines, and they're really, obviously getting more pronounced as I get older. But yeah, the Botox took them completely away. I was like, oh my
Exactly.
gosh, look at it.
Yes.
Well, they're back now because the Botox long worn off. But yeah, I'll be looking for a new Botox lady. If anybody's out there, just shoot me an email or something. Particularly if someone wants to work in kind and get a free ad or something. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Network.
That's right, girl.
Yes.
So Tiffany, do you do anything other than that? Like in the salon, do you guys teach esthetician? Do you teach pedicures? What are you guys doing at the school? Just hair and makeup?
We do hair, makeup. We also do pedicures and manicures, and they get to learn how to do acrylic. So a lot of schools, like if you go to Aveda, they do the more natural, where Paul Mitchell and other schools, they get to learn the acrylic nails. We actually end up having, like, usually there's not a whole lot of people or students that get into the acrylic nails, but every once in a while, usually we have about a handful of them that they're doing like phenomenal work, where I'm like, you guys could be getting paid in a salon competing in competitions right now. Like, amazing artwork. I've seen them just draw like cartoon figures on fingernails, and it's insane. I would love if our school got the esthetician program. There are some Paul Mitchells, they're all privately owned, but there are some Paul Mitchells that have the esthetician program. Ours does not. But I was like, we do teach facials because that is part of the state board, but it's a very basic facial that we teach and that we do.
We should take a look at the students and do like a nail competition. That would be really cool. We could do that, and we could highlight some of the really extremely talented,
Yeah.
that would be really cool. Yeah. All right. So tell me about, do you love or hate when the designer or the producer gives you crazy stuff to do?
I love being challenged. So I'm all about it. Like, for me, like what drove, like when we did Ohio Fashion Week and it was all sleek back ponytails, and me and Malika were just looking at each other like, really? Ponytails? That's what we got? And it's actually very difficult to get a sleek back ponytail. It honestly is very difficult. And I'm like, you could give me like that one look we did where it was like 3 tiaras high, balls on top of their head, like crazy stuff. But if I do a sleek back ponytail one more time.
See, that would be me trying to figure out how to make it less dramatic for the stylist. So I thought that would be not too difficult, and they could, because they're going to do 100 of them. But that harkens back to, I don't really know what the heck you guys do. That's why I always call Malika and Maria, because they're kind of like my team leads. And I'll call them, Malika does hair and Maria does both. And I'll be like, if I want to do this, how much time would you need to do this on a model? So that, because I don't know, sometimes what I think is simple is not simple, and sometimes the opposite. So you got to do makeup for the first time for us in New York Fashion Week.
Yes,
And you did a great job.
Thank you.
I was very impressed. I have to say, your hair, it supersedes. I mean, when you do hair, it's like incredible quality. I mean, like you could be winning. Have you won any competitions with it?
Yeah, I've won a couple. I think the biggest one, I mean, other than yours, was through Hair Art. And they actually make most of the doll heads that we use in the schools. I won a hair cutting competition with them, And because of that, I was they sent me a whole box full of their doll heads, which these doll heads are worth probably about $100 to $150 a piece.
Wow.
They have real human hair on them.
Wow.
I got a trophy, and then I got a feature in Modern Salon magazine as well with them.
Wow. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
I also know that I know we can't reveal what the product was, but I know that you and I collabed on something that you had a really cool idea for. You were an instructor then, right?
I was
Or a
in the
student?
instructor student program, so I
Okay.
wasn't done with the classes yet, but since I was still affiliated with the school, I was allowed to enter that contest. So it was what John Paul DeJoria, he's the person that owns Paul Mitchell now, because Paul Mitchell himself he died of pancreatic cancer, and they were friends. So John Paul DeJoria was on Shark Tank, so he wanted to create that same idea for Paul Mitchell, where anyone that's affiliated with Paul Mitchell, like students, instructors, anyone that works for him, can enter the contest for an idea, and they call it "What's the Big Idea?" So the first year I entered it was when I was still a student there in the instructor program, and I won. So I got to win a trip to California, to Beverly Hills, stayed in 90210. I actually stayed at they actually put you up in the hotel that Whitney Houston died in, so the Beverly Hilton.
Oh, that's exciting.
I know. I was like, I'm summoning Whitney Houston.
You'll be pulling out the tarot cards on that one.
I bought some tarot cards when I was there.
Yeah. The fashion ones, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I got those. I got to meet John Paul DeJoria. I won $5,000 for that.
That's incredible.
That was awesome. And then I also entered it the next year, and I made it as a runner-up. I didn't win the big prize, but I still got a prize package where I got a bunch of new hot tools, and they put me up on their
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, Tiffany, I won't give away what it is, but Tiffany texted me and she's like, hey, I have this idea. If I send you, specs on it, can you make it for me? And I was like, my guess, probably. So I made a prototype for her to send in, and it won. So that was pretty crazy cool. Yeah.
I'm gonna be patenting it. Hopefully this
You
summer,
should,
because I want to get that mass produced. Like we're gonna get this out there.
You should. I mean, I'm not gonna out it by any means, but you should. I think it's an excellent idea.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I was very privileged to be part of that project, even though I was just the paid help. But that's okay.
Hey, I needed it.
Oh my gosh. So tell me what you think is the most exciting part of hairstyling for you. Is it like the individual client, or is it the big shows, or is it teaching students? Like, what do you love about what you're doing?
I love pretty much I love everything about like all those different aspects. Like, it's great working behind the chair when you have someone come in that just doesn't really feel good about themselves, or maybe they're just having a bad time in their life, and they're taking at least an hour to 2 hours of their time just to sit down and focus on themselves. And then you turn them around in the chair and their hair's blown out, freshly colored, and they're just like, oh my gosh, thank you. Like, people have cried. Like, I haven't felt this good about myself in years. Like, it's amazing. And then every time I sit with a client, I show them and tell them, okay, this is how you do this at home. I know a lot of stylists, they're just kind of like, okay, we're just going through the motions, but I like to teach people too. So just teaching them, hey, this is how I curl your hair, and this is how you do it. This is how you blow dry your hair. And they're like, wow, like no one's ever showed me that. And they're like, oh, thank you. And then when you get to the students, it's really seeing them start with, some of them don't even know how to hold a blow dryer, to when they finish, they're doing these beautiful balayages and amazing blowouts, and just seeing the look in their eyes, and they're like, wow, this is what I'm meant to do. Like, they just, because this industry, it's about other people, it's not about you necessarily.
Right.
It's about making someone else feel and look beautiful. And then doing like the photo shoots and the runways with you, I love it, because it's like, wow, now I get to be like, that's my creative side. I get to like do funky, crazy stuff that you don't normally get to do, which This is the artwork side of it, where people are like, okay, no, this is not something you're going to see walking down the street. It's about enhancing a look and just making something beautiful. It's walking art is how I like to see it.
Exactly. Now, forgive me because there were so many people I cannot remember. Did you do Fashion Alliance with us?
I think so.
The avant-garde show? Is that the
No.
one that we put the balls in the hair?
No,
Which one
I wasn't able to get to that.
Which one did we do that one with? The balls in the hair.
I think Cece was with you for that one.
I'm trying to think which one it was.
The other Tiffany, was it?
I've done. Oh, maybe that's why. Yeah, there was another Tiffany at Fashion Alliance. That's correct. Yes. I've done a couple things that had the balls in the hair. I had Skylar's hair with balls, like a ponytail of balls once. And yeah, I do some weird things, but I always send it to the, like I find either dream it up or I find it on the internet and I send it out and say, okay, can we do this? Is this too much? I would think for me as a photographer, I mean, I can go and take portraits all day long and make a living, but it is not fulfilling to me at all. Like that is not, there's nothing creative to me about that at all. Like that was first year photography, how to pose somebody, Yeah. So for me, the creative end is the crazy concepts and the weird hair and the odd lighting and that's what I love about the models I work with. They're like, okay, what do you want me to do? How do you want me to bend?
Yes.
It's so much fun. Yeah. We have so much fun together too. We just laugh. I think this is the most we've ever actually talked.
I was about to say, yeah, it really was like, yeah, it has, because we really don't get to talk when we're working,
Right, working.
We're working. Like we don't really get to spend time. Like I could probably say I mean, since we've been podcasting and stuff, like this is the most we've ever talked.
I know it is, because it's funny because people are always like, oh, I would love to hang out with you after, go get drinks, because I don't really drink, but go get coffee or go to dinner and just talk, about what's, just girl talk or whatever. And I'm like, oh yeah. But it never happens.
Yeah.
But it's actually happening as the podcast. So it's pretty cool.
You're forcing it to happen.
I know. Make it happen. Stick it out there into the speak it. Okay. I did an interview with somebody who said that to me. Speak it, Jackie. Speak it. I'm like, okay, I'm speaking it.
You speaking it, Jackie.
That's it, right
speak
there.
It. Okay. I'm speaking.
Okay.
That is so funny. So we're still confused about the direction that's going to happen with Ohio Fashion Week this year.
Right.
We are going to have it. We know that. And we know it is September 18th. I don't know if it's going to be in person or if it's going to be virtual. And if it is virtual, I don't know what that's going to look like yet. But we would love for you to participate in it as well in whatever way we can. We'll also be doing webinars. So maybe we can do something, because that can be done remotely just like this. So that might be kind of cool too, if we can incorporate that with you.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe we can, I know the school is pretty far away from us, so it's hard to bring students down here, but maybe we can figure out some way to help maybe even do virtual behind the scenes for them. Do like a live broadcast so they can actually see what it's like. I'm not sure. We'll figure out some way. We'll talk to Tina and find out. Sounds good. All right. Well, for those who don't know, Miss Tiffany is also a retired veteran.
Yeah.
So we want to say thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And give us 5 things before we just let you go. We ain't gonna let you go like that, because you got to give us 5 things, okay? Remember that, y'all.
Good for you.
I have them. I wrote them down too.
Okay.
Good.
So can you give any hair or makeup stylist, artists 5 things they need to know?
Check us out, hauteohio.com. HAUTEOHIO.com. Did you know? I didn't know. Well, do they know? They might know. Who does know? We know what's good to know.
So if you're really into it and this is like, this is your thing, I always say I use Instagram for my networking. For me, Facebook is kind of like my goof off kind of stuff, but Instagram is where it's all business for me. So I would say at least choose one of your platforms and make that one completely business. Do not put your personal information on there, only your business information. And when you're on there, make sure you're following and tagging the people that you want to see your stuff. And also message those people. Like I've reached out to so many different people. Like I've had conversations with Tabitha Coffee. Like I even got a phone call with her, just reaching out and showing her stuff. She's commented on work that I've done. Guy Tang, I love his color. I tagged him when I saw him at the Chicago Hair Show, and he commented under that photo. This industry is so small and very close knit that these people are not going to act like they're too big and too celebrity to talk to you. They really want to help you and they really want to reach out. And I think that the people in this industry really want to mentor other people in this industry and work with you. So don't be afraid to tag them. Don't be afraid to message them, because they'll reach out. They'll get back to you. Let's see. So also look for like the trade for print opportunities to help build your portfolio, especially when you're first getting started. It's going to be practically impossible to find a paid gig for you to do hair and makeup. For makeup, you don't have to have a license to do it, so anyone can do it. But with hair, you do need to have a license. So just kind of keep that in mind. Like definitely you do want to get paid eventually, but if you have a good portfolio while you're still getting started, look for the companies that are looking for hair and makeup artists and send them your work. Like I follow so many pages on Facebook, and that's how I find those different opportunities. That's how I found Ohio Fashion Week. That's how I found Michigan Fashion Week. And then from there, network and really go out of your way. For me, it really is hard for me to go and talk to people that I don't know. Like I know it seems kind of weird. Like I probably seem like I talk to people, but I am so extremely shy when it comes to getting out and talking to someone and saying, hi, my name is so-and-so, like, I'd like to work with you. Like, it takes a lot for me to do that. But you really have to get out of your comfort zone to do that. Pass out your business cards. Make sure they follow you on your Instagram or whatever platform you're going to use to broadcast and advertise for yourself. It's free advertising. Also, always stay inspired. So follow people that you actually want to follow. So whichever platform you're going to use to be using for your business, don't follow cooking shows. If you want to be a hairstylist, follow other hairstylists, because that's how your algorithms are going to like show up on your news feed, and that's how you're going to appear to other people's news feeds as well. So really get familiar with those algorithms, who you're following, who follows you, what you're posting, what you're hashtagging, what you're adding. So make sure you're paying attention to that. And for me, whenever I go on set, I'm always watching what the photographer's doing. I'm going to steal some of their ideas for when I need to take photos of my work when I'm in the salon, or if I'm just out and I'm like, I'm having a good hair day, or I'm going to go fix my daughter's hair and I need some content for my page. Because if you're not producing content, people aren't going to see you. Right. So ask the photographer questions. Look at how they're posing their models. Look at how they're taking pictures. Ask them what kind of lighting they're using. Like, get you a decent ring light, or just get you a little small one and carry it around. Ring lights can be very cheap. They can be very expensive, but they give you really great products and they give you really good photos. And it helps you learn what your angles are and how to pose your models to show off your work. Because you can do a beautiful face of makeup and beautiful hair, but if you take a crappy picture, it's not even worth posting. And if you're going to post it, make sure it's worth posting. Because if there's so many photos I've taken that I just haven't posted because I'm like, it just didn't look right. So I'm not even going to put that out there.
Yeah.
And I would add to that, I wouldn't do any kind of doctoring to the pictures.
Yeah.
So that your work stays true to itself. I know a lot of people will, smooth the skin or something like that. But, especially if you're a makeup artist, you don't want to alter what your work is. So, if there's a blemish that shows, let that blemish show. Because, I know when I'm casting stylists, I don't want to see, I don't want to see the painted picture.
Yeah.
I want to see the kind of work they do. So, yeah, I totally agree with that. Totally. And with that, Miss Tiffany is done with us. Do you want to give us your Instagram, Facebook, website, all that good stuff?
Yep. I keep it pretty simple. It's all T Marie Beauty 13. So check me out on Instagram and TikTok. My Facebook, I keep that one kind of just for people I know. So but Instagram,
Okay.
definitely check me out.
Cool. Are you on YouTube at all? Do you do any kind of YouTube channeling or anything like that? Okay. Cool. All right. So TikTok and Instagram for Miss Tiffany. All right. I appreciate you taking time to be with us. And
Thank
I
you.
cannot wait till we can work together again.
Right.
Yes.
And the issue will be out tomorrow, the gratitude issue. So, yeah, everybody needs to check that out because the really important work that there's 2 ladies and a gentleman that won the makeovers. So, yeah, really important work that they did. And we want to thank them just like we thank all the military, too. We love you, Tiffany.
I love you guys too.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Bye. And as
Bye.
always remember to stand out and be fabulous.
Absolutely.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us in The Empire, a Fashion Empire podcast where we discuss the realities of the fashion industry inside and out. Thank you to our sponsors and platforms for sharing our show, and of course, our amazing guests for talking fashion with us. If you have an idea for an episode or want to be a guest, just visit Hauteohio, HAUTEOHIO.com. And of course, shout out to you, our Empire citizens. We appreciate you and your support. As always, be sure to like, follow, comment, review, and share. Till next time, stand out and be fabulous.